So ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Mr. David Plouffe.
I first started my journey with Barack Obama when he was a state senator, which is a small elected office in our country. What happened there was really a belief in him in people. If he had a message that inspired people, they might be inspired to work on his behalf and spread his message. I believe in the mission. I spent a lot of the last few years of my life working with the president and others to figure out how do we create better jobs. And what I see in Uber is on the economic side, the best example out there in my view of something that provides people that opportunity. But in the beginning, change can be hard. It is somewhat, I don't want to directly connect them, but in the Obama campaign, let me tell you, I spent a lot of time in 2007 in rooms with people trying to convince them that Barack Obama was going to be the next president. And I had a lot of people laughing at me and a lot of quiet rooms.
You took on a big challenge to try to get a freshman senator from Illinois that, as you say, no one had ever heard from get elected. And it seems like you're taking on a bigger challenge now, trying to get Uber regulated around the world. Where do you begin?
In politics, like business, I would even argue like relationships. I mean, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to get in trouble. You're going to fall into a rut. Any business is going to go through a rough patch. Any political campaign, any government. These days, as fast as the media moves, you're probably going to go through them a lot. They're going to happen more often. So how you recover is what matters. You know, we were tested often during that campaign. I think probably most severely by losing New Hampshire. And then when the president's former pastor, Jeremiah Wright, reemerged, that was the other time that we were in sort of mortal threat. You know, Jeremiah Wright looped for days, saying, you know, pretty vile things. He called me and David Axelrod that night. We did a joint call and said, I got to give a speech not just about Wright and me, but race in America. He wrote the speech himself. People got to test his character and see it tested. I think in that speech, people, for the first time, probably saw a president. He gave a speech that I hope 50 years from now will be, you know, one of the seminal speeches Barack Obama gave and will be studied.
You use big data more than any other campaign had in the past.
We can know a lot more in the world now than we've ever known before. Consumer companies, politics, which means that takes some of the guesswork out of it, which is good. There's still an art to it. So how you use that data, how you project it, how you make decisions based off of it. You know, we measured the effectiveness of contact in the campaign almost to obsession. And by far the most effective contact in terms of actually recruiting someone to volunteer, getting the vote, or switch their vote to Obama was a human contact.
I'd like to say thank you incredibly on behalf of everyone here. I'd like to thank Uber for putting this whole thing together, and of course Sydney University for hosting us. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody.